The Nile. It is the lifeblood of Egypt and has shaped the country's civilization for thousands of years. Along the river and its delta reside 95% of Egypt's 102 million people, a unique population pattern seen even from space. This concentrated civilization thrives amidst the Sahara Desert thanks to the Nile's water and nutrients. But tensions simmer just 12,000 kilometers away, where Ethiopia has constructed a massive dam near the Sudanese border. Its construction has raised tensions between Egypt and Ethiopia over water distribution. Egypt's water supply could be jeopardized by the dam's rapid filling, leading to unemployment and food shortages. Egypt is currently confronted with a challenging decision. Should they opt for military action, potentially risking a larger conflict in the region? The story of the Nile extends far beyond the borders of Egypt, as the river passes through 10 other countries before reaching Egypt. The Nile has two main tributaries, the White Nile and the Blue Nile. These tributaries originate from different places, the White Nile from the African Great Lakes and the Blue Nile from the Ethiopian highlands. Thanks to the Ethiopian highland monsoon rains, the Blue Nile contributes an overwhelming 85% of the water that flows down to Egypt via the Nile. The Nile River is vital to Egypt's water supply, enabling the country to be a major global producer of agricultural goods. However, due to minimal rainfall in the Sahara Desert, including Egypt, an astonishing 97% of the country's water supply is solely dependent on the Nile. Egypt is concerned about Ethiopia's new dam's impact on the water flow of the Nile River. Historically, Egypt controlled all the water in the Nile due to treaties with Western countries. In 1978, Egypt's president threatened to go to war with Ethiopia when they considered building a dam with Soviet assistance. For years, Ethiopia has argued that it has the right to build hydroelectric dams on the Blue Nile within its own borders to generate power. Egypt, however, countered this claim by referencing a 1929 treaty with Britain that supposedly prohibits such construction. In 2011, the Arab Spring led to the toppling of Hosni Mubarak, giving Ethiopia the opening to construct this megadam, Africa's largest hydroelectric power plant. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, in short GERD, is a massive hydroelectric power plant projected to produce over 5,000 megawatts of electricity when complete. This has the potential to provide light to nearly half of Ethiopia's population that currently lives without access to electricity. The massive reservoir created behind the GERD would be roughly the size of London. Egypt is worried about the amount of time it will take Ethiopia to fill the GERD's reservoir. If it is filled quickly within 5 years, there could be a severe water shortage in Egypt. This could lead to significant losses in the agricultural sector, worth billions of dollars. Egypt's limited agricultural land along the Nile is already struggling to feed its growing population, and the country is the world's largest importer of wheat. Quick filling of the GERD's reservoir could worsen Egypt's demographic pressures, potentially leading to more unemployment. Initially, Egypt requested a timeline of 12 to 21 years for filling the GERD reservoir, but they have now reduced it to 11 years. However, for Ethiopia, delaying the reservoir filling for a decade or longer could pose challenges. It would lead to significant financial losses and reduced productivity, as they would be unable to utilize the dam for electricity generation, impacting their development progress. Ethiopia has chosen a timeline of 7 years to fill its reservoir. Despite diplomatic efforts from various organizations such as the United Nations Security Council and the African Union, Ethiopia has continued with its plans. In July 2022, Ethiopia filled its reservoir for the third time, with the largest amount of water to date. If Egypt and Sudan experience a drought in the next 5 years, they will have two options: watch and do nothing, or take direct action against Ethiopia. The Egyptian High Command could potentially authorize the deployment of fighter jets, bombers, or cruise missiles across the country and through Sudan's airspace, targeting the GERD, which is only 40 kilometers away from the Sudanese border. In conclusion, the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is a complicated geopolitical issue that involves historical, economic, and environmental factors.